Then I went into my first $1 million business, which is the skating shoes, which is Heelys.
Yeah, Heelys. Okay,
That day we called it wheelies. So basically I had a technology with a button. And I had 9 shops.
Wow.
Yes, at the age of 16. Hired all my friends.
What? Okay, we have to just pause. Where has this business acumen and...
So it's crazy because like basically after selling online, I said I need to go work so I can get more income to open my company.
Right.
So I worked as a lifeguard because I thought that was what teenagers do. And in the morning, and at night I was a cashier.
Let's Talk DXB. Real conversations by real people.
Ebraheem, I am so excited to do this conversation with you. I have to give you some background about how we actually got here because I feel like God works in very mysterious ways. So I haven't been fortunate enough to watch the Netflix series, which obviously you are one of the amazing casts in, just because of work and being a mum and everything that comes with it. And I had family visiting. So my sister, who is a big fan of you and the show, I have not told her we're here today. I'm literally going to send her a picture after this and she'll faint. So she was here. I'd put my son to bed. Come downstairs. My mum and my sister are watching, by the way. My mum is engrossed in season 2. So they've been watching from the UK.
Cute.
I was like, okay, mum. And then, so I sit down, she's telling me about, the cast, giving me an update about season 1 because they're watching season 2. And then you come on a clip. So we're watching. I was like, he seems like a really genuine guy. Then I had a cousin visiting from the UK and she was like, we should go to Forever Rose, which is obviously your business. All of this. So Netflix, your company, and then 4 days later, your PR team just send me an email saying, we've seen your platform, Let's Talk DXB, it's very authentic. We'd love to have Ebraheem come and speak with you. This is his background. Then I'm reading your background and I was like, whoa, what a journey. Like, what a journey, which also explains your foundation. I was like, yeah, we have to do this conversation. And here we are.
Here we are.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. It means a lot to me.
So if we start from the beginning, because I think that's going to be so helpful for me to also learn a bit about you. And obviously I've done my research. So tell me more about your upbringing, where you were raised, what that journey looked like for you.
So I came from a multicultural home. Okay, so my father is Kuwaiti. I was born in Kuwait.
Okay.
I left 2 weeks before the Gulf War. My mom took us and ran away to America.
Oh my goodness.
For safety.
Yeah.
Because as you guys know, like when Iraq invaded Kuwait, they were taking a lot of American citizens as hostages. My mom, thankfully, she took us out of Kuwait before that.
Wow.
I don't know how she knew. I think it's a sixth sense of a mother,
powerful.
She felt something's going wrong and she literally just took, and my dad did not know we're leaving. She just ran away. Yeah. So after that, my father tried to settle everything with his family and he came to join us in America.
Okay.
And basically I was raised my whole life in America and decided to move to Dubai in 2010 because I saw a success in the Middle East and I said, you know what, if my Arabs are working hard to create something that hasn't been created in the world, I want to be a part of it.
Fantastic.
And I was a little bit late. I should have came earlier to Dubai, but I was also very young.
I was going to say, what age?
I was 20 years old when I came to Dubai.
Oh, yeah. Gosh, yeah. Okay. Still very young.
So, yeah. And, I've been here ever since. I love Dubai. I love Middle East. I love the GCC. I believe we did so much and there's so much more we can do. And for my business experience, I've started business at 14.
Yes,
I kind of stumbled across of it because my parents, because of them being from two different cultures, two different upbringing, my dad being from the East, my mom being from the West, they had a lot of conflict in their life. So we were raised in a house that had a lot of fights and stuff.
Okay.
My parents tried their best to keep the fights away from us, but it's very difficult to not fight when you have a child in every room.
Yeah, big family.
It's a big family. So it's where are you going to hide from them? They're everywhere, ears and they're nosy, extra nosy.
Yes, hard.
So we've been through a lot. My mom's been through a lot. I've been through a lot. And, the divorce, when my mom divorced, it was basically, I thought that my whole world came crashing.
Must have been hard. What
because
age were
I was
you?
14 years old.
You were 14.
So I was going through puberty. That's a very sensitive age for teenagers.
Correct.
We kind of teenagers are kind of looking for security at that time.
Yeah.
And when the house comes to be broken, my mom, she wants to leave, and she didn't only leave our villa, but she actually left to go live in a studio without any furniture.
Just literally was
probably as big as this room right here.
Really?
Me, my mom, and my little sister. My sister was 7 years old.
Wow.
And I remember I tried to tell my mom, like, why do you want to divorce my dad? I remember it was one fine day that my mom came to me and she's like, I noticed that your voice has changed.
Oh, right.
And I'm divorcing your father. I said, what the hell does my voice have to do with divorcing my father?
Becoming a man.
She said, you're the youngest son. I promised myself that I will raise my children until my youngest son becomes a man.
Oh, I see.
I've waited for this time. I've planned for this time.
She planned it.
I planned it. And she said, I gave him an ultimatum. I gave him a list of things that he needs to change with himself for me to stay. He crumbled the paper and threw it at me.
Yeah, okay.
So I said, she said, it's time. I did my best. I tried and I just can no longer live with him. So she didn't want the house. She didn't want nothing. She just left. I remember taking my clothes and my computer. That's all.
Wow.
I remember waking up in the morning and I saw like my mom was a different person.
Right.
And she was so happy. And she was so relieved. And I looked at her and I was like, Mom, we have nothing. Why are you happy? We literally have nothing. Peace. She says, Ebraheem, I have everything. I says, what do you have? She said, I have you and I have a peace of mind and I feel free.
Yeah.
I was a bird in a cage and now I'm free.
Wow.
It broke me inside. You know, I was only 14. I didn't understand what love was. I didn't understand what relationship was. I didn't understand anything. But all I didn't know that my mom was happy. And I said, you know what? As long as she's happy, I want to keep her happy. So she came to me. My mom, she's a bit religious. So she told me, Ebraheem, according to our religion, if you don't wear the clothes that you have for more than a year, like in 1 year you don't wear any of it, on Day of Judgment it will be on your back because people need that which you have and you're hoarding it for no reason. So I said, Mom, but some of the stuff are still new. I can't give it away like that. And she was like, okay, whatever is new, just like use it or sell it. So at that time, eBay just started. Okay. And I decided to put my $10 Levi's jeans on eBay. Still had the tag on it.
I love it.
It was discounted from Marshalls. Originally $49.99.
Yep.
And I remember selling it for $19.99. And I told my mom, like, Mom, I sold it for $20. She's like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't see? I bought it for 10, sold it for 20. She's like,
Made
so?
some money.
I was like, I bought it for 10, I sold it for 20. I can go to the shop and buy another 2 more. And the 20 becomes 40, 40 becomes 80, 80 becomes 160.
At the age of 14, Ebraheem, you're thinking like this.
So she's like, so what do you want? I'm like, I want to ride to the shop to buy more. She was like, okay, let's get your sister and we go.
I love it.
And that time we didn't have a car, so we took a bus.
Yeah.
And, you know, I remember at 14 making sure I hold my mom and my sister's hand. And, you know, we never like been on a bus before, like when we were with my dad. And to have to see like what people go through on a daily basis to just get from point A to point B and how difficult it is. It was very sad, you know, and that's what always kept me humble, that I always remember like the places that I came from, the things that my parents went through. And especially my mom, I remember like one day recently she told me this, I couldn't believe it. Like, you know, after everything what God has given us and we start to remember like these things. My mom told me that at one point in Kuwait, she had only 1 pair of shoes.
Wow.
And that pair of shoes was like flapping.
Right, yeah.
And I was like, why didn't Baba buy you? My dad always had money. She was like, anytime he would want to buy me something, I would say, get for the kids.
Wow.
So both of my parents have been so giving to us. Like even my dad, like before he buys himself a car, he makes sure that we all have new cars. He buys everyone new cars and he gets himself a car. So I came from a very, 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 very good parents.
Yeah,
they were very good to us. And I would never, ever forget that. And that's why I'm so good to them, because they give us everything. Especially my mom, she lost her entire family for us, you know? Because my mom, she was an orphan. Her father died when she was 2 years old.
Oh, right.
And when she became Muslim at the age of 18, her whole family were against her.
They were against it.
You know, and it hurts me because like if someone becomes Muslim, people are against them. But yeah, if a teenager goes to like say satanic and wants to believe in devil, and they're okay with it.
Yeah.
I mean, this
really
person is choosing a way of God and a lifestyle. What is wrong with? I mean, let them to believe what they want to believe and respect them, and they don't change as a person because that's their belief, that's their opinion.
And it's shaping values and morals in a healthy way as well.
Absolutely.
Like if it's going to make someone a better person.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
so I started selling on eBay. And I was making so much money and going to the post office back and forth.
Yeah.
My mom, at one point, anytime I would make any money, I just put it in her purse. And then at one point, she's like, "Are you doing something illegal?"
I was about to say, your mom was like,
and I was using her email. I was actually basically I was basically her.
Got it.
Because I use her ID, everything to get on to
because of your age.
Yeah. To AOL and all these websites and stuff to get like the things running. And basically I was her the whole time. Even when I opened a company, I was still her because I opened my first company, I was 16.
So you're underage, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
then only went until I was 18, then I started to change things.
Yeah.
And then I worked selling on eBay. I became the first 1,000 power sellers.
Wow.
Basically, I was doing the business of drop shipping. What they're doing now, I did it 20 years ago.
Yeah, got
Perfected it. Then I went into my first $1 million business, which is the skating shoes, which is Hees.
Yeah, Hees. Okay,
That day we called it wheelies. So basically I had a technology with a button. And I had 9 shops.
Wow.
Yes, at the age of 16. Hired all my friends.
What? Okay, we have to just pause. Where has this business acumen and...
So it's crazy because like basically after selling online, I said I need to go work so I can get more income to open my company.
Right.
So I worked as a lifeguard because I thought that was what teenagers do. And in the morning, and at night I was a cashier. So while I was a cashier at one business, I learned a lot. I learned because I was doing so well with like selling. There was a section in this department store which was luggage.
Okay.
And I saw like the luggage was always thrown.
Right.
And I filled the luggage. And I showed the clients because it was like a souvenir shop.
Yeah,
but it was a chain of souvenir shops. So I realized that place was that section was neglected, and I bring this like newspaper that instead of throwing it out, I recycled it and I put it inside the bag so that way the client can see how big the bag is before they buy it.
Full. Yes,
they can see how much they can fit in it.
Yes.
So I sold those. The sale of that department increased tremendously, which got the attention of the owners.
Right.
So the owner would call and say, why is this suddenly a big, do we have like more people coming in from, other countries or whatever? And the manager at that time, she was like, no, she said that she's changed the design and that. But then the owner was like, well, you've been there for 10 years. It's been the same.
Yeah. Okay.
So they made a shop visit.
Yeah.
And at that time, how God works in mysterious ways, I was on, our shop is like 3 floors, but it's 3 levels, but it's all open. So it's a 3 levels high ceiling.
Yeah, got it. Yes. Yeah.
And I was on a ladder, really long ladder.
Yeah.
I was trying to fix the display.
Okay.
I was trying to like put more items of the luggage around the shop
the shop so it could be visible.
Yeah. So taking the luggage up there was risky. So I can fall down. I can break my neck.
High.
I can break my neck. Yeah. So I risked and I didn't care. I said, I want to do it. I don't like sitting and just getting orders. I like doing things. I was a leader at the beginning. I wasn't a follower. So I just go and I take charge.
And do it. Yeah.
So the owner came down and she said, she was such a beautiful lady. I will never forget her. Her name is Azra Batla.
Okay.
So Azra tells me, she's like, excuse me. I'm like, yeah. She's like, can you come down, please? So I come down. She's like, what's your name? I said, Ebraheem. She said, how old are you? I'm like, 16. She was like, why are you up there? I said, because I'm putting display for that because since I've been here, no one cares about these things and I just want to make the best of it. She was like, do you know what you've did? Do you did this with the luggage? I said, yeah, I filled it up because it doesn't look nice. I don't like messy things.
Yeah.
I have OCD.
Yes.
She's like, do you know that you've increased the sales of our luggage department by 20%?
What?
I was like, oh, sounds good. So you're going to give me a raise?
Yeah. Do I get this profit?
Yeah. She was like, no, I have something else for you. Come to my office. So the next day I go to her office in the main place. And she told me, I want you to do what you did there for all the shops.
Whoa.
They had 20 shops. I said, okay, I don't mind. But obviously I'm using my car. So you have to pay for my mileage.
Yes.
And I need a raise.
Yeah.
So she was like, at that time I was getting $8. And then I think she gave it, I don't know, like 10 or 12. I can't remember what it was exactly. But I still have the stubs, so I can look back and check. I saved my stubs to always make sure, remember where I came from and show my kids, like, this was your dad's paycheck.
Exactly, yep.
And so from working with her, she was she's the owner's wife.
Right.
She was responsible for buying swimwear and luggage.
Got it.
So I worked with her kind of like an assistant buyer.
Amazing.
So I'm like, we're missing this, buy this. She introduced me to the LA market where people would buy, wholesale products.
Yes.
So I turned 16. Before I turned 17, I decided my dad told me, come work for our family business.
Okay, yep.
So I said, okay. So I told my dad, but I have a career going on.
Yeah.
He said, you tell her that pay for my diapers, then you can stay with her. I'm your father, you listen to me.
You have to listen, yeah. I mean.
So I quit my job. She was crying. I remember when she was crying when I quit my job because her husband walked in.
Yeah.
And her husband said, why are you crying? And she said, Ibrahim's quitting. She said, you have the right. Because everyone in the company knew what I did to the company.
Right, okay,
yeah?
yes, yeah.
So I went to go work for my dad. My brothers, because I'm the youngest boy, they were like kind of like abusing me
and
making fun of me. And just not listening to
Not
me.
listening to you.
They have this thing in Arabic where they say that you haven't cracked out of the egg yet.
Right, okay.
It means you're still a child.
You're still a child, yeah.
So they didn't listen to me. I had so many ideas for them, and it was constant fighting. But our neighbor had a shop. Our neighbor was a shop called Journeys, which is a shop that sells all shoes.
Right, yeah.
The manager came to us and was like, you know what? There's this shoes that has skates on it, and the mothers are fighting for it, and there's no supply, and it's like $89, and everyone wants it, and Christmas is coming. So I identified the opportunity at 16 and a half.
Crazy.
I took a flight the next day, went to Los Angeles, and I was looking for these shoes.
What?
Swear to God. First time I traveled by myself.
Okay.
$300 flight. So I went to LA and I was looking for 4 hours. I found one kid actually using the shoes.
Yeah.
So in LA, there's a place called Downtown District,
Okay.
which has all the wholesale. That's where like Forever 21
I see.
got its clothes from and everything.
Yeah.
So they have the white label.
Yeah.
So I saw the kid and I said, you know what? I asked him, where'd you get the shoes from? He showed me it's down this way to the left or whatever. So that's my only lead in 4 hours. And I paid, and I need to get these shoes because I've already got in touch with actually the mall managements to get locations.
Wow.
But I didn't tell them my age. I just pretended I was older. So then I spoke to him and I told him, listen, I'll give you $20, take me there, because in 4 hours if you have one lead, and it gets you lose it,
that's it. Yeah,
you're done.
It's a waste
so I said,
of
I paid $20.
Yeah, exactly.
You buy peace of mind. He takes you there.
Correct.
I went there. I met the lady, and at that time, the shoes wasn't popular.
Right.
At that time, it got popular in Florida, but it didn't reach to California. They had stock, but no one was buying it.
But no one was buying it.
Because trends in America start from one state. This is before social media.
Got it. So people are not even seeing what's happening.
People buy things from magazines.
Yes, yeah.
So it takes time for prints and this. So it's usually like a 6-month delay between states for something to spread.
Yep.
Because it starts with schools. So everyone at that school wants the shoe, then the next school, and it goes. Yeah. So then I told the lady, I want to buy all your stock.
You were like gold to her then, because she's probably like, no
she
one's
was like,
even.
But take it. She said, I sell it to you at cost price. Cost price was like $8.
Okay. Yeah.
$7 or $8.
Yeah.
Bought it, took even some pairs with me because I literally had to open the shop as soon as I arrived.
And you're saying in LA there was not LA, where you home there was $89.
Yeah, so the profit was like 9 times.
Crazy.
Almost. Yeah, so 900% is good.
What?
So then I took them and I had them in my luggage. I arrived to the mall. I had to open that same day. They gave me an RME, which is a kiosk.
Wow, yeah.
I didn't put a display. I just put my shoes on the kiosk right away.
Was it.
As soon as I put it, mothers start lining up and buying. I made $6,000 that same day.
Ebraheem. From taking that one flight and the risk.
16 and a half years old, making $6 with open your eyes and close your eyes. And most of it was profit because I had no employees.
You had no,
me.
yeah, exactly.
And I was like, I'm on gold right now. I'm
This
like,
is crazy.
I go to the mall management. I'm like, I want more locations.
Yes.
They're like, what are you talking about? You're 16 years old.
What are you doing?
I said, is my money any different than anyone else's money? I'm giving you money.
I can pay.
Yeah. She said, okay, you have to open these locations. I said, okay, one condition. I'll open one every month. So one would open the other one.
Yes.
Profit.
Yeah.
And
then just
open.
keep on going.
I literally called all my friends. I'm like, hey, what's your salary? She's like, we get $7 an hour.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll give you 10. Come to me. So I hired all my friends. So I would deliver them shoes in the morning, and at night I'll collect the money. I had so much money that I was putting them like in shoe boxes. And I was telling my mom, like, Mom, be careful. Don't throw any shoe boxes out because there's a lot of money in them.
She's like, what is my son doing?
What the hell?
Where is this money coming from?
My own dad didn't even know like how like
you just kind of maneuvered.
No, well, I was visiting my dad every Saturday.
Okay.
And me and my sister.
Yeah.
He had like visitation rights because we were under 18.
Yeah.
He was paying child support.
Yeah.
So we'll go to him, and I remember going to him once after I bought my first car. I bought a BMW 745 Li.
What?
At BMW 745 Li with $20,000 rims. And I roll up and my dad's like, tells my mom's like, where's this kid getting money? Is he a drug dealer? Like, what's happening to your son? She's like, your son is so smart. You just need to know, you need to get to know him.
You need to know him.
Because my dad, in Arab mentality, you always listen to the oldest son.
West African, hello?
Yeah.
The youngest
is a stupid troublemaker.
He
gets hit for just looking wrong.
You have to just sit there and be quiet.
Yeah, my dad he hit me, and if I didn't know why he hit me, he said, you know.
Or he might just hit you again.
Yeah, just for crying. Shut up. You shut up.
Oh, I can relate, yeah.
Yeah. But it's okay, you know.
It's all part of.
Look how it turned out.
Exactly.
Yeah, so not so bad,
it's all
right?
part of the culture. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's, you know, my dad was like shocked that I was doing so well, and then I decided, you know, I wanted more challenge, so I started working with corporate. So we did basically like a T-Mobile authorized dealership, which is like a Etisalat or Do.
Yeah.
You know, then I decided in 2010 to move to Dubai.
Can I just okay. That is crazy. So you've had that leadership entrepreneurial spirit for a long time as well.
Yeah.
So with this money, other than keeping it in shoe boxes, what were you doing?
No, I would keep it in shoe boxes until I had time to go to the bank.
And then, dodgy.
Dodgy.
Yeah.
That's how much, like, I didn't really, like, I wasn't scared of someone robbing me or whatever. I didn't think about it. I was a kid.
At that age. No, the innocence as well.
Absolutely.
And I think the bravery to just do what you were doing. But I guess that also helped you to support your mum in some ways.
I made my mom, you know, I made sure she was okay. My mom got remarried, so I went back to my dad at the age of 17.
Okay.
And
how was that transition?
It was broke. I was a bit sad because I missed my mom.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, I chose her, but then she chose to get married.
It's hard.
So it's like I was like kind of like thrown.
Yeah.
You know, but I learned to understand people. That people, she's been married for so many years. She was married for 24 years, and to be divorced and to be alone is not easy.
It's not easy.
So she has the right to be happy as well.
That's good understanding.
And it came and it happened, and I never hold a grudge against her for it.
Yeah.
I know when she thinks about it or when she hears, she also feels sad because she also felt that she neglected me. But I was an adult. I was 16 years old. I was an adult.
You're old enough to understand that process. Yeah, that's true.
So went back to my dad. My dad, he wanted me to learn Arabic, so he buys a satellite.
Oh yeah, the satellite dishes.
He bought a satellite so we get Arabic channels, and I tried to cheat by going to Dubai 1 because there's only one with American movies.
Yes.
But I would watch the commercials and I would see His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum going to like events like Global Village and going to like at that time was Deira City Center. They had Mudhish World. Yeah. And I was like, wait, like this ruler is like with his people, and he's like, he doesn't have to be, and he's the only ruler from the Middle East that I actually saw was actually like, you know, working hard. And I asked my dad, I'm like, Dad, who's this guy? And my dad was like telling me the story about Dubai and UAE, and he's like, oh, you know, my dad used to teach here at that time was the Sharjah airport.
Okay.
He used to teach hospitality to Emiratis. Because in Kuwait, like it was more advanced when it comes to education.
Yes, I've heard that. The education was really good.
So my dad was like a professor. He's like teaching.
Yeah.
So he's like explaining what's the UAE and stuff. And I told him like, I really want to start something there. And he was like, yeah, it might be a good idea. So I packed my bags and I came to Dubai.
Wow.
Yeah. And then after that, I bring my mom and my dad.
So they slowly came.
I bring them all. I convince them all to come here because I believe like life without family is no life.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
We're very family oriented. We rather go to the movies with my family than go with a friend.
Yeah.
Because I know like friends who are there, but they're not always going to be there.
And it's different as well. Yeah, it's not the same.
And also when you spend time with family, it's like putting money in the bank.
Correct.
Those are memories that you're never going to forget.
Correct. Yeah.
But when you spend time with a friend, at any time if that friend does you wrong, you lost all those memories as well.
Which can happen often.
It can happen very often.
People are people, right? Yeah.
Often,
unfortunately.
They change and they sometimes, you know, we have this thing in our religion where we say also that when you live with someone for 40 days, you become them. So if your friend gets married to someone that's like completely different than what she is, they move into that, and then you kind of lose them. And that's always what happens.
Yeah, it's true.
Is if the personality is weak, they end up taking the other person's personality.
You're right.
You know?
Yeah, that's a topic I want to do. So many people are talking about friendships in Dubai. Like you have a very good friend.
Have a bestie. You have a business together.
And
we're winning together. We're making money together.
I'm definitely gonna go and visit it. It looks like such a great space.
It's such
I love it.
Right now,
yeah, you guys did really well with that. Yeah. But you're lucky to have that because not everyone gets that. Obviously, there's a lot of, I'm an expat. I've been in Dubai for 10 years. I was married, I got divorced. So I'm here with my son, Zayn, very much kind of building my new story and norm. I have one cousin here, thank God she can't leave. But we grew up together. She's like a sister. Like beautiful. African culture, it's like sisters basically. Yeah. But friendships as well. Yeah. It's very tough.
Dubai attracts a different type of person.
I feel like it, right?
Dubai attracts two people.
Yeah.
Dubai attracts hungry.
Quite selfish as well.
Yes, and attracts very successful people.
Yeah.
So that successful people means that they want a challenge, that their country no longer is challenging for them. Yeah. Me, the US was no longer challenging. Yeah. Any business I open would succeed. And I knew coming to Dubai, I'm going to deal with sharks.
Yeah.
I knew that was going to be competitive. I knew
a different
Arabs were very much into business because business is a part of our blessing, like as a family. And every family has a business, you know, one way or the other. Even though if they're working, they have a business, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know, I want to play with the big dogs. I want to play with the big, I want to compete. I want challenge.
Yeah.
America, I was getting no challenge. So I realized that in Dubai, you have these people who are here for an opportunity, but they want an opportunity unethically.
Yeah.
And the amazing thing about Dubai is that because of the country has very strict laws, it filters for these people.
Correct.
So you think you're going to come and you're going to work and then get a loan and not pay it and then run away? You're stupid. Because what's going to happen is if you get banned from the country, and when this country is hosting so many events and so many things, you're ruining your life,
your business, everything, your reputation.
If you do that, and then you run back to the UK, for example, you stole, let's say, 200,000 dirhams or 100,000 dirhams, and you're working for a job, right? And your job says, well, you know what? There's a exhibition in Dubai, and you have to go. Now you can't go. Why? Because
you ran away.
You ran away, and you owe the country money. So eventually, it's gonna come after you. So many people have did this,
and I think one thing that resonated when you were talking as well is your reputation. West African culture, we're very big on reputation. Like your reputation precedes you. So, you know, my parents always raised me like, if you think about if you're not in a room and what would someone say about you? Have you lived right? Have you treated people well? Have you been fair in what you do? So that's always sat with me in everything I do. But I feel like that is an important factor.
See, a very important thing to realize when you speak about Middle East is, in the Middle East, you are guilty until proven innocent in every situation. So when you have a friend or you have a job, you're nobody until you prove who you are. Okay, as of in America, you're innocent until proven guilty. So in America, you have more opportunity to start something. Here, they're not going to trust you. You have to take time. But once they trust you, it's good. Okay. Also, the thing about Middle East is that we have something here called rahma. Rahma means a pardon.
A pardon,
So if God forbid you got in trouble some way or other, they can pardon you. But in Europe and in America, you're done. You can go for 20 years in jail just by making one little mistake, by your brain not working properly, and you ran someone over or something. You're done. It's finished. You know, and it's hard living under that constant fear.
It's fear.
And that's what I love about this Middle East is that you have this thing where if you haven't did something from before, it's the first time you did that crime, they pardon you. You feel safe, you feel relaxed, you don't feel like you can be ruined at any time.
Correct.
You know, besides the safety and the safety and security we have in the country, so many things that I can no longer live. I don't think I can live anywhere else besides here. It's impossible.
It's hard, right?
It's very hard because the standard is so high. Even I would go back to America I love America. I love the vibes. But I go back for a visit and I'm like, I can't stay here no longer. You know, the bathrooms. Public bathrooms, I cannot use them there. In Dubai, I look forward to going to the Dubai Mall bathroom.
Public transport.
Exactly.
Everything.
Yeah. So it's I mean it's a big honor to be in Dubai, to be part of Dubai.
It really is.
To have businesses in Dubai.
Correct.
You know.
Yeah.
To be married. My wife is from the UAE.
Oh, fantastic.
You know.
Oh, yeah. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
So that transition then was a great move for you and your family, actually.
Yes,
like you kind of were
My mom
able
feels
to build.
happy. She's safe. She feels you know, in the right place, I would say.
Yeah. So when you came, you continued your entrepreneurial kind of nature of you. You built your businesses. Forever Rose, beautiful.
I built another brand that was like, it started here, which is like a hair care brand.
Okay.
And then I started my own hair care brand, which is called Juicy.
Yep.
And then I started Big Smoke Burger, which is a Canadian franchise.
Yep.
The Chicory, another Canadian franchise. And we have Nablus, our own Mediterranean franchise.
Okay.
And then we have Forever Rose, London, which is a flower shop, and then Forever Rose Cafe. So we're about 17 companies, 350 employees. We all work really hard. The F&B part is handled by my brother, which is the franchises. Forever Rose is my own baby. I handle it by myself. No one can touch it. It's my baby.
Mine.
All mine. And that's why I always promote it, because it's something that I built and I love it so much, and it's so close to my heart.
Correct. Yeah. And then in terms of business, how do we get into Netflix Dubai Bling then? What does that journey look like?
This was so strange.
Hey guys, if you're enjoying the conversation so far, make sure you hit the subscription button to be notified about part 2. Let's Talk DXB, Real conversations by real people.